Hey everybody, this is D'Lo Cruz from San Antonio, Texas. Although I represent Louisville, Kentucky, I just got interviewed by Chris Page and Goth. You're watching CCP Podcasting. Please stay tuned, like, follow, subscribe, share to everybody you know, and let's get this thing going.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live on a Sunday afternoon. I am Chris Page. I hope you're having a great weekend. I know I am. I've slept. I haven't done that now. It feels like months. But I've caught up on some sleep. I've had some great shows. We watched some great wrestling yesterday. We've done some editing today. We are on the road to Chapter 2, Next Level in Orlando, Florida. January 31st, guys. We've been talking about it. Matches are coming. Announcements are coming. We already know Devious Cass and GMJ are going to hook it up in the main event. We've also got Matthew Ennis, 101 with the undeniable G4 coming to us out of Southern California, and also out of Southern California making his Florida debut, J2 Mattioli hooking it up with one of the best from Georgia, Skrilla the Great, coming down to Florida too. Those are just 3 of 9 matches that we've got on tap for you on the 31st. Keep your eyes peeled to social media at CCP_podcasting for those announcements, and you can get your tickets. That's www.ccppodcasting.com. That's where you need to be. January 31st, it is a happening. And in Southern California, we're coming to you next. We'll be there in March the 28th to be exact. And as we announced last Thursday or Friday, can confirm we ain't coming alone. Marcus Mathers is going to be in the house with us on the 28th. Big things are happening for us here on the channel as our live events continue to roll forward and continue to move. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. And we couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. Huge shout out to you over in Goth. I see you in Twitch. For those of you who are joining us and piling in as we go, we're going to have a great show today. My guest today comes to us from the great state of Texas. And I think that it's ironic because just Friday night, we premiered our new show, which is it's specifically garnered towards talent in Texas. It's called our Lone Star Spotlight, where we are diving deeper into first-time watches from talent all over Texas. And I have had the pleasure of having Caius on the show previously, who has introduced us to so many great talents. And we've talked to so many great talents along the way. Even Friday, as a matter of fact, our guest that we had, Bobby Light, said that our guest today is someone who we should be watching. Brother didn't even know he was coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure. Let me try that again. Gives me great pleasure to bring to the show Mr. Aries Alexander. How's it going, brother? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's nice. I mean, I hear from Kais a lot because we're very close. Me and Kais are very close friends. And he talks all about CCP and how great they are. So I'm looking forward to this.
I'm glad you're here. And Kais is a good brother, man. This is a dude who, just from my perspective, so this is what I say, like, if you don't know the platform, don't follow the platform, part of what I say is that professional wrestling brings people together. And in Caius's case, this is a proof positive situation of that, because we've been fortunate enough to talk to so many talents over the last year and a half and build a lot of really good relationships. One of the relationships we built was with a guy here in Florida named Casey Vi. Well, Casey Vi was obviously ran into Caius and ended up getting booked on a show, and that's how our paths crossed. We sponsored Vi for that show. Well, then from there, I just hit him up and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come talk about the show? Like, we can cut some clips, we can do some things, and just kind of throw it out there and promote it, et cetera, et cetera." Thus, our relationship was built. Did not know that good brother Caius wanted to take a trip to Florida and come and wrestle. And when we had our opportunity to do our first live event, he was going to come out and work for free. And I was like, no, like, I'm going to figure something out and we're going to work something out. And, we were able to pay him and get him down here so that he could work the show. But that's where the relationship started. And it's one of those things that I'm grateful for, because I think Caius is doing some wonderful stuff out there. And I just think he's a good dude all the way around. So anytime, someone says, "Hey, Caius said I should hit you up," or Caius said this, yeah, come and talk to me. I got you, because I'll do anything for that guy. That guy's fucking tremendous in my eyes. So it's good to know that that's kind of like your relationship is that, because I think the world of him. Just had his first show last night, as a matter of fact. I congratulated him this morning.
Most definitely. I wished him congratulations maybe an hour after it happened. I was over in Dallas for a promotion called Metroplex Wrestling. And as soon as that was done, I went straight to messaging him and asking him how everything went. I hope everything went well, and it sounded like it was a success. Really.
Yeah. So for me, so I'll peel the curtain back a little bit as we get into this conversation. For me, what a lot of people don't know is I was waiting to hear how that show went, because obviously we're doing live events, and part of what we're doing with our live events is going to our friends that we've made friends with into their area, and bringing some of the best local talent, and us bringing some talent that you should see. And Texas is on our list. San Antonio's on our list, and we are coming. And last night confirms it. He, sent me over a lot of information, and I just was like, brother, I'm so proud of you, because he was so nervous about it, and I get it, I understand, because he was on the hook for all of it. So like, I was like, man, but you did it. At the end of the day, you did it. Nobody can take it away from you, and it's just a big accomplishment, and it speaks volumes for what's happening down there and what can happen with the scene down there, and I'm excited for it, to be fair.
Mhm. Yeah, I know the man's been doing this twice as long as I have, but I still like was proud of him as well. That I was like, man, he said he was gonna do it. He went out and did it. Not a lot of people can say that they went out and did what they set out to do.
Facts, man. Facts. Over in chat, real quick, over in Twitch, Brianna's in the house. Oh, Brie. Aries is the best, period. So there's already high praise coming. And Goth says hello and welcomes you to the channel. But as we get into these conversations, man, before we get into where you got in and how you got in, I like to start at the top. And for me, that's where this fandom began. What drew you into professional wrestling, and what were you watching that made you invest as a fan?
Mhm. Well, growing up, in the nice age of 7, it was mainly my grandmother. My grandmother's the one that really got me introduced into professional wrestling. Always had her plays. She always had it on pay-per-views, weekly shows, and I was just always sitting there watching with all my other cousins and brothers, and it was just something I was around all the time, to where it was just my everyday, I guess, fandom. I was always just wrestling, 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 wrestling. And then even till now, I don't watch it as much as I used to. Well, of course, when I started working, I wouldn't watch it really as a fan anymore. Sometimes I get into it where I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But most of the time, I'm really just studying every tiny little detail. Uh, but I'd like to thank my grandmother, for one, for introducing me to professional wrestling.
Do you remember what the story was, or what was on TV that drew you in?
Hmm. The earliest match that I could even remember was SummerSlam 2005 with Edge and Matt Hardy, where it ended in like a no contest.
Oh, that was a great
That's like
story.
the earliest memory that I have of wrestling.
That's when I came back into wrestling, because like I checked out of mainstream, WWE in the midst of the Ruthless Aggression era. But at the very tail end of it, that's what I consider the tail end of it. That Edge Hardy story, it hooked me immediately. And that steel cage match, Jesus, when you talk about some bloodshed, but it was so personal, and it was just one of those things that it added to it overall. That's a dope story to come in on, because that sets the bar pretty high, to be perfectly fair. As your love for wrestling grows, and obviously that's where you start steering into, maybe at some point, this is something I want to try to do. This is something that I want to get into. What does it look like for you when you start to really think about training and think about breaking in, and in the area specifically? Like, where did you how did you break in, and where did you start training at, and what did that look like?
So I would watch as a fan for a very long time. I checked out, I believe, in like 2012 to maybe like 2016. Like I missed all of like Black and Gold. Well, not Black and Gold. Right before Black and Gold, NXT. Missed all that. Missed like the Shield debut. Missed all of that. I was completely checked out for wrestling. I didn't come back till like, I don't know, 2018, 2019. No, I would say yeah, around 2018, because I had stumbled across a few matches over in New Japan. It was during the the Okada and Omega feud, and it wasn't until watching like that it just felt so like it felt different to me. I was like wow, this is like the performance was just out of this world, and that's when I was like, you know what, I think I want to give this a try. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I'm gonna make it, but let me see. Let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can dip my toes in there. See if I even like it. And there was a local promotion running around the area I was at, over on the south side of San Antonio, and just went to go check it out. During intermission, I talked to one of the people running it, asking about wrestling training, and they had said, "Yeah, just come over to this location, and we'll get you started." And it was not what I expected, that's for sure. I didn't expect like a boxing ring, not a wrestling ring, but a boxing ring, and just in somebody's backyard. I was like, "Oh, well, I guess we'll see what this is." And I would say, like, looking back at it now, it's a pretty rough start, to start all your bumps in a boxing ring rather than a wrestling ring. But I got through it, and I just kept coming back, and that's when I was like, you know what, I want to do more with this. I want to move up. I want to really make this a profession. I think that was over in 2018 ish, late 2018, when I finally like full on stuck with all the training and stuff.
Well, that's at an interesting time too, because pandemic's right around the corner. How did
Yeah.
that affect you and affect what you had going on? I mean, obviously the world stops, but I mean, I kind of have a hot take when it comes to the pandemic because I look at it as a blessing and a curse. I think that it's obviously the negative side is the lives lost, et cetera. On the positive side of it is when we come out of the pandemic, I think that it's directly responsible for this massive youth boom in professional wrestling specifically because you guys had nothing but time to hone in and train and get in there. Like I think it's what kind of separates, the upper echelon of independent workers now that are under 24 years old. I just think that it's a piece of why they are so fucking good. It's because that's what they had and they dove into it. Now, how did that affect you and your market?
So during that time, I was, as you probably could have guessed, very early into my career. The training only lasted maybe about 4 months, due to the trainer passing not too long after. So he was very limited on time. Only maybe had 4 months of training, and just started working matches straight after that. Um, One thing led to another. No longer affiliated with them, and then That's when I met Caius. Um, he was helping with a promotion over on that side of town as well that my promotion was working with, and when my promotion shunned me out, he was the one to bring me in and help me during that time up until about 2019, uh, around there, January, February ish.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to take a bit of a break, about a 3-4 month break. Some stuff happened right there. Decided, you know what, maybe I need to take some time off. Took some time off, and then 2020 came along, pandemic hit, and he helped me a lot mentally and told me about a promotion over in Laredo that was going to be running like weekly shows. I'd already received like, the vaccines and stuff at the time when there were only like, you would take one vaccine, maybe twice, and that was it. Um, but I still decided to continue working during the pandemic. There were a couple guys, Dill Dempsey and Raxo, that were really working during that pandemic time. Like they were everywhere. They were booked in like 2-3 times a week, every week during all of COVID. And I was like, man, if they're over there busting their ass, maybe I should be busting my ass instead of just sitting on it. And did those weekly shows, and it helped me so much with my character work. There were no fans, so it was all just weekly tapings. Really helped me hone my craft a lot more and helped me find out who I was as a worker. And coming out of COVID, I felt like I was already established to where I knew who I was and I knew what I wanted to pursue. So it was a blessing and a curse, I guess. That time, that COVID time, blessing because I was able to find who I was. Curse because of what's
Yeah,
going on around me.
yeah, world's a shit show.
Yeah.
But it does, I always try, even a negative, like I say, I always try and find the positive. So for me, it's like I see that, and I see that is definitely what I feel plays a part into why we're seeing so many successful, young, talented performers that are out there. Is there was a year and a half where you had the opportunities to make some things happen, and some of them people, they took advantage, and it seems like that was a decision that you made too, because you were able to get in even though there was nobody there. Ring time is invaluable, and getting camera time is invaluable, and being able to watch that back and self critique and have people watch that back and critique, and helps you fine tune who you are and what you're trying to do, because that's a big piece of the name of the game is
Mhm.
I always say people can see through fake, and that's where I say, like, sometimes a lot of character work maybe it just doesn't work because it's not quite authentic. I know for me personally, my first gimmick was fucking shit, and I ran it for a year thinking that it was like amazing, because nobody told me that it was retarded, and I was just like, "What is this?" I sat back and then someone was like, "What are you doing?" And I sat back and I looked at it and I was like, "Wait, you're right. What am I doing?" But it was finding and that click moment of boom, we're ready to go. So talk to me a little bit about that. You had the character work kind of rolling, but you just said you were able to kind of fine tune it. So what did that process look like for you and to what we see today?
Mhm. So during that time, I was able to get a lot of feedback from a lot of guys that I've never met before that worked in Laredo. And I would just really pick their brains and figure out, well, how do you figure? Because, like I said, I only had 4 months of training. So I didn't really get all the knowledge that I probably could have gotten from my coach at the time. So I would just go off of what other people would tell me of like, okay, well, what can I work on? How can I make this better? How can I make this look better? And just picking everybody's brains, picking Caius's brain on the drive over, on the drive back, really trying to figure out who I was. And at the end of the day, it was always just figure out who you are and just tune it up to 100 and just go from there. I was trying to be something that I liked instead of something I was. So I had liked certain things. Like I think it was more of like a lone wolfish character, like I'm the top dog, alpha wolf thing. And I was trying to do that, and it it didn't show. Yes, I had the gear to go with it. I had like a song to go with it. I would try to act that way, but I wasn't that character. I felt as if I was something else. So when I decided to get rid of that character and just more fine tune what I was able to find out really what the character was. And now the character's more of a mindset. So like how Bria said earlier is the best period is it's the catchphrase that I use. And it's not that I'm not trying to really like oversell myself in terms of like, oh well, I am the best, I'm better than this or this person. No, it's the mindset of I need to tell myself every single day that I'm better than who I was yesterday. So I always need to say that I am the best, not just wrestling, not just on the mic, not just anything. Like it didn't even have to be wrestling. Not just the best sports, not just the best person. All this stuff. It's the best period. I'm the best period. And I need to show that on the ring. That's why I always give at least 120, 130%. And that's how I was able to really fine tune it. Because if you go into a mindset of like, oh well, I hope I do all right. or let me just give it all I got and we'll see what happens. There's a lot of room for mistake. So if you go into the mindset of no, I am the best. This is what I do. Wrestling is what I do, and I am the best at it. Not that I'm okay, I need to get better. No, I am the best at it. You will always go in with the confidence to give your best. And that's what I've been really able to figure out, not even like the first few years, but maybe the past year to year and a half recently. And I'm super comfortable in my body more than I was even 2 years ago. I'm 100% me now.
I had a big smirk come across my face because, you know, you talk about mindset, and literally 4 hours ago, I had this conversation with my better half. We were talking about, like, for me, I'm at a crossroads. I'm at a personal crossroads and a professional crossroads, because I know for me how far this platform has come in 2 years with the time that I've had to put into it. And I see where we've come, and I see where we're going. And I know that if I was able to dedicate 100% of my time to this platform, that it would be very successful. And I just need a year of full time and dedication to it, right? So the question was posed to me, this, you know, the way that they asked me was, you know, well, isn't there a glass ceiling for independent wrestling? And I said, the glass ceiling is what you make it. I don't think that there's a glass ceiling for what I'm doing. I can't speak for other people. I can't speak for other people's platforms. I can't speak for nobody but myself. And when you go from 0 to 500,000 people to almost 750,000 people that see your content, like and keep in mind, dude, I'm not a fucking professional. Like, it's just, you know, so what is that glass ceiling? And I was like, that glass ceiling is whatever you make it. Yeah, this is possible. You have to believe in it. I said, it all boils down to your mentality. If I wake up every morning and say, this is not possible, this is not going to happen, this is, blah, 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 then it's not. But if I wake up and I say, whatever the circumstance is, whatever the day is, whatever the situation is, I'm going to beat this situation, well, then I'm going to beat it. It's all about how you think about things. And in this, the mentality is key. And in professional wrestling, I say all that to say, because professional wrestling can be very mentally taxing. It can be very mentally draining. And you have to, you know, sometimes you have to power through some bullshit just to get to where it's a brighter situation. And in your situation and in your case, I kind of say all that to say, with a character, when it fine tunes and it comes together, you know, you get an opportunity to debut. And, you know, you said you were 4 months in before they started putting you out and putting you on the road. Did you kind of feel like you were ready for matches at that point? Or did you just say, fuck it, man, I'm here now, let's go?
Honestly, I would say at the time, since I was just so like, you know, I watch wrestling all the time. I'm like, oh, you know, I was very immature. I started at like 19. Even though
Okay.
19 now, even though 19 now, people are crazy good.
Yeah.
At 19. Some people are even on the major platforms, 19, 20, 21. At the time, at 19, I was so like, oh, well, wrestling's easy and I could do matches. It's nothing. I wish I can like say that at the time I was like, no, you know, I wasn't ready yet. You know, I'm not ready for this. But I guess confidence and like naiveness are kind of like hand in hand at that age, where I felt as if, yeah, I can go out there and I can wrestle. I could do a match easy. Looking back at it now, probably not. Even going back and watching my first match, probably not. But I would say, sorry, I went on my own sidetrack thing. What was the exact question again?
Oh, just getting to the debut, and you know, where did you
If I
think
was
you were
ready.
ready for it? And you basically said yes and no, and I can respect and appreciate that too.
Mhm.
Um, Do you like when you, I'll pivot that and move into like some of the stuff that you've done here. Like, let's talk a little bit about 2025 because looking over that shoulder there, brother, I'm seeing a couple of pieces of hardware, or as my boy Jay Haru out up in the northeast would say, some jewelry as he would call it. What's your 2025 looking like? And obviously, I do know that you had a pretty big opportunity earlier this year as well, that we can definitely talk about too. But let's talk a little bit about the scene and the championships that you've gotten and what's led to a pretty big deal for anybody that is in professional wrestling because you did get opportunity to be showcased and to be seen.
Yeah, so the 2 championships that I have over here are both from the same promotion over in Laredo called Amazing Pro Wrestling. You have the open weight, which is right here. There we go. It's because it's flipped. Right here's the open weight, and right next to it is the heavyweight. So I'm running top division, mid division, almost every division, I guess.
Brother, no, so basically, guys, Aries is the gatekeeper, just in case we're all clear now. Because
Pretty much. I hold myself to a pretty high standard now than I did. So I try to do like these matches, I try to put on like crazy good matches. I know that every time I were to win a championship for a promotion, I always told them like, I know I do what you say, but if I could have any kind of say so, it's just that I don't do any like squash type matches where I just like squash the guy. I was like, I want every match that I have with that championship to be like the highest quality. Give us as much time as possible and just let us go out there and do our thing. Show why my opponent deserves to be where I'm at right now. And so far, I still have the championships. So I guess that kind of says that.
What I like about that is, two things. First of all, when you said open weight, like my ears went up because that's the second championship that we're going to be introducing into what we're doing as a part of our live events. And it's going to be a traveling championship where it will go to different states. And I think a piece of what I'm so excited about with all this is we're going to be able to bring guys with us and we're going to be able to take guys with us too. So, there's opportunity for us to be able to work with so many of you and be able to put you in places that you may not get opportunity or have opportunity to do. And in the process, when you're coming to work with us and you're doing one of our shows, you're in a locker room with people who run feds, who book companies, who are top guys in other promotions and other areas so that you guys can legitimately network. And not only that, it's like, because everyone that also works one of our shows, like their heart's there. Like this is not, these are all guys that I have the utmost faith and confidence in. So I think that shit's kind of cool. And what makes it cool for you being rocking the open weight championship and rocking the heavyweight championship is you are in a position. It's a very unique position. I love the fact that you say that you want to get time to work because eventually when you do drop one of those championships, you're not only making the championship right now mean something but more than what it was when it was on you. But whenever somebody does defeat you for it, they're going to get the double rub of credibility. They've beaten a guy that is battle tested and can go out here and has gone out here match after match after match and has elevated the championship. So they're getting two big double whammies on that win. And I think that that's kind of cool. And some people might say like, oh, you got 2 championships. Well, okay, you do have 2 championships. Go beat them for it. Raise your game. Go beat them for it. You know what I mean? So it's like I see both sides of the script. I see both sides of the coin, but I think that's kind of a cool trait. And I think is that the Fed that Caius has a belt too in?
I believe so. Yes, I believe he holds the Mexican Elite
Yes.
Championship.
Yes. Yeah. So he had that belt and he had it with him. And there's a funny story that I feel like is interesting anyway. He when he came down to Florida, he asked me, he's like, hey, can I take some pictures with the belt around the ring? And I was like, do you want to come out with it tonight? Like, he's like, can I? Yeah. Is that a thing? Do people not let other people walk out with belts on shows if they're not affiliated with the show? Because I was like, bro, I'm independent wrestling. If you want to come out there with your championship, by all means, I'll bill you as that champion. That's just, for me, it's more like, hey, this company has representation in Florida. This belt is in Florida. Whether it's defended or not, it's irrelevant. It's here. It's on a show in Florida. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good mindset because a lot of places here they don't want to represent anybody else. They don't want any representation from other places on their platform. So to hear somebody say, "Oh, well, kind of," it's a little weird not to. Yeah, I think that's very commendable. Um, it's a little rough here in Texas. It's a big state, but it's a little rough to get around. Um, everything's kind of like locked under a certain, I want to say a paywall, because you have to be affiliated with a certain group to be able to work maybe all these places.
Mm.
Then if you want to work any of these places, you need to be affiliated with this group. And it's more of like yes, it's who you know, but it's also what group you stand with. And that's why it's been very difficult here in Texas. I only get to work with a couple places, APW being one of them.
I
But there's a
think
lot of
it.
places I'd love to work.
I think it's time that I make a trip to Texas. We got to stop that.
Yeah,
We gotta end that. That's we don't monopolize shit like that. That's stupid. My opinion. That came from me.
Like
That didn't come from my guests. So if you're in the state of Texas and that bothers you, you can come talk to me about it. I'll be more than happy to have a conversation because I think that's dumb. I think anytime that anybody can monopolize some kind of situation where opportunity is not equal for everybody, like that kind of bothers me. Because it's kind of like, bro, like this, and I say that because we watch wrestling all over the world. We see some of the best guys every week on our channel that we wouldn't know anything about if we didn't go out there and look. And it just that's bothersome. It's worrisome because I think that you guys are, the future, if you will, of our industry, and you should get the opportunity too. I'll crack that code. I don't. You've given me a personal mission, sir. So
yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to work. That's the thing. But a lot of people will look past talent and prefer if you ain't with them, stay away, kind of thing. So it's been rough.
we'll fix some of that. Don't worry about it. We'll talk a little bit off there. But let's talk a little bit more about what you got going on. So with 2025, you obviously had a big opportunity with AEW, and getting an opportunity to do some stuff with them. I know I never got a break like that at all, so I can only imagine that right there's got to be some sort of validation to the work that you have put in. That there's a lot here because they don't just put anybody out there in that situation to do that. So how does that come about for you? And what did it mean for you to really get this shot for AEW?
So 2025 as a whole was just such a great year of opportunity for me. I was very fortunate enough to be involved with very different situations, starting with TNA and in January, and then AEW in February. Being able to actually perform on a stage like that, even if it's only for a few seconds, it feels like an outer body experience. I can still remember, like, the second the lights came on, those spotlights dropped down onto the ring. It almost felt like you were in a dream. You can't really see the crowd. It's almost like it's dark, and all you see is your opponent, and it just, for some reason, it takes you out of out of your body for a second, and you're just like, whoa, like, is this actually happening? And then you remember, oh, I got a job to do. I was very fortunate. I stayed. It's a very mentally taxing day because it's my first time there. Totally different than how it was in TNA in terms of like what they let you do and who they let you talk to and all that other stuff. I try to stay very patient because I don't know whether they're just going to say, hey, we need guys for this segment or we need guys for that segment. And on a personal standpoint, you want to choose wisely. Of course, you always want screen time. You always want to get screen time, but you always want to get a match as well. So there were a lot of people that are getting chosen for spots and all different segments, and I was just kind of just there. Me and a friend of mine were just there, just kind of waiting it out, hoping that we get selected. It wasn't until like right at the end they say, "All right, there's like two of us, just me and him left." Like, all right, we need one guy for a segment, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay patient, and I said, he's got it. I let him have the segment. I ran the. There was a chance that I wouldn't get anything because it's possible you get there and they don't have anything for you. They have a good handful of people, but if they run out of segments and run out of matches, then, well, I mean, there goes your shot. And at the time, I was like, man, I probably blew my only chance to get anything on this show. But I felt like at the time I was like, I think he deserves something. I think he deserves to be on that screen. So I said he can have it. And he went and he had a segment and it was really cool. He got to do some stuff with Ricochet. That's dope. Later on, time keeps passing. It's almost showtime, and I'm like, I still haven't gotten anything. It's pretty rough mentally. I'm like, am I even gonna get anything? It's really rough, like I said. But then they say, oh, we need people for another segment. I was like, okay, I'll do it. Perfect. Boom. There's my segment. Getting ready for the segment, waiting it out. And during that time, one of the match producers comes in and he's like, you and you. We're going to use y'all have a match with LFI. And that's when I felt like all of my patience and everything was worth it. Because then, boom, here it is. It's match time. Let me go get dressed. Let me get ready to go. And went out there and had 90 seconds, I believe, of in-ring time, which
Hey, listen.
me, even last year, feels like it was unheard of.
Listen, we all saw what Big Trouble Ben Bishop did with like a minute and 40 or, a minute and 50 seconds with Roderick Strong. He turned that into a social media gold mine. And for me, it's not about how much time to get. It's the fact that you were there. And you wouldn't have been there if you're not on a radar somewhere. You wouldn't have been selected. Like, I'm a proponent that things happen for a reason. Like, we just have to figure out what that reason is. It's like intersecting. Lives intersect for a reason. Well, it's up to us to figure it out. For me, with anybody that I talk to and I deal with, it's so much more than just a podcast. It's so much more than coming in and just having a conversation, because I'm all about long-term relationships over short-term gains. I don't do short-term anything. So, and I say all that to say, because I have plans for everybody that I talk to in some form or fashion, because I feel that you guys, man, they're just things that I know that I can do that should be done just because it's the right thing to do. And that's putting you out there, and that's putting you out there in front of people, and putting you out there in front of people that I know that you can benefit from. That's the name of the game. And for you to have the opportunity with being there, it wasn't just the 90 seconds, brother. It was a long day that you showed patience. And that very well could have been why they came at the final hour and said, you, and you. It could have been how you handled yourself all day. Because I know how long those days are. That I do know. I've worked events, but I haven't been like a part of events. I've worked the long security events, security days at events like that. I know how early they are. And I know how late they can be. And I know that when you're just sitting around, like, there's not a whole lot that you can do except but be patient. So I think you handled that the right way, ultimately, is what I'm getting at. And yeah, 90 seconds, cool. But what else did you learn all day just by being a fly on the wall? You know what I'm saying? It's information like that that's invaluable.
Like I said, very taxing day. It was one of those, like, once it's done, you feel like just the immense amount of weight is just lifted off of your shoulders. I think that, well, looking back at it, one of the best parts about it is I'm the only one who really worked. The two people that they had, well, even that too, when they were calling the match, when the producer was really putting the match together, he asked, who wants to take the pin? And I told him, I'll take the pin. I looked at the two guys that I was working with. They looked more jacked. They were taller. They were bigger. And I was like, I'll take the pin. I was like, obviously, these guys are huge. I'll take the pin. And he was like, okay, well, Bordos is going to do this to you. Then he's going to tag in, and that guy's going to do, Dralistico's going to do this to you. And then he's going to tag in Roosh, and Roosh is going to hit you and pin you 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, these guys aren't even getting in. It's just me. Because I'm the only one doing everything. They're like, yeah, and then you'll have like a post-match beatdown, and then Gravity will return. Or Hologram. It was one of two. It was either Gravity or Hologram. I think it was Hologram. Hologram returned, and there was that. And I was like, huh. So not only am I getting 90 seconds of screen time, I'm getting 90 seconds of in-ring work. And I get to work with all three of them. It was awesome to me. Get into the back, and they're like, oh, great, and all this other stuff. I was like, this is what I want. This is where I want to be. I want to move up. I'm trying to get where this is.
And that's how you do it. It's baby steps, it's being, I always say that the professional wrestling, you can be ready for professional wrestling, but professional wrestling has to be ready for you. And when it's ready for you and it knocks on your door, you better answer it, because you don't know when it's going to knock again. And opportunity is opportunity, regardless of how you slice it, how you dice it. And I think that starting out your 2025 like that, getting back-to-back shots with TNA and AEW, I mean, that's nothing to, sneeze at. And it's nothing to shake your head at. Like, that is what people are working for right now, is just to get the opportunity to be there. And I say that to say, with 2025, literally right around the corner from being over with, what are the kind of things that you're looking forward to in 2026? What are some things that are on your radar? Obviously, you're going to be coming in dual champion. So that is a thing. Who's knocking on that door of challengers, if you will, to maybe step to the plate?
Well, I know in APW there's a whole bunch of really good talent there as well that probably want a shot. I know Bill Dempsey probably wants a shot. Bobby Light is in the promotion. I'm sure he wants a shot. His partner, Jonathan Light, probably wants a shot. There's so many people that want a shot. I'm very fortunate to have won the heavyweight championship by beating TJ Perkins. I was very fortunate enough to defeat him to be able to win this championship, and I just want to keep it at that level of like competition. Not saying I only want to face people on TJ Perkins level and more. No, I want to put myself in TJ's position and have people work with me on that level, help elevate them, make them better. And going into 2026, that's my plan for these two championships right here. But other than that, I'm trying to help elevate myself, get myself on bigger platforms, hopefully get more opportunities. Like I said, 2025 was a very good year. I was very blessed with a lot of very big opportunities. Hopefully do more stuff with AEW 2026. That'd be great. And did some really good stuff with AAA this year, where they came to Texas. Did a couple affiliated shows with APW that I was fortunate enough to be on, but also when they ran their Texas tour just recently, it was this month, in Odessa and Dallas and Houston, San Antonio, Laredo. They were, checking all these hot spots. I was fortunate enough to do 3 out of the 6 dates that they had. Fortunate enough to also perform well enough for them to say, well, we want you back in 2026. I know the man that was working in Houston was like, hey, we want to bring you back in February, because they're going to be back in February. We want y'all again. We talked to the guys after San Antonio's event. They were like, oh, we want you for March. There's 3 events in March we want to do. We want y'all for that. So 2026 is looking great. Like I said, more AAA stuff, more elevating these championships, and hopefully get more stuff out of state. Texas is great and all, but I would prefer to get out of Texas, and if I'm lucky, maybe even out of the country.
Well, there's a lot of things that are possible. I say that we cast a wide net. So that's almost a perfect segue into what I kind of like to call the $1 million questions for me. and it's really just because we've had a lot of success. And I don't like to pat ourselves on the back, but it's true. So when I ask you these questions, aim high. That's all I can tell you. 2026 is untapped for a lot of people in a lot of different things in a lot of different places. It's cool to hear off rip that 2025 you start out with TNA spot, you start out with an AEW spot. 2026 you're getting some callbacks and some work back with AAA, which we already know has an affiliation with who? The WWE. So there's avenues for you to be seen that I think are fantastic. That being said, where are some companies maybe that aren't the Feds, that aren't the AEWs, the WWEs, the TNAs? What are some independent companies out there that you want to try and get attached to? If you could dip your toe in the water and get an opportunity at, it could be here in the States, it could be internationally. What are some of those companies that are on your bucket list?
Companies by name, I couldn't just run them off the top of my head, but I know states that I definitely want to be working in. You had mentioned a few earlier. I'm trying to get my toes back into California. I've only been able to do one event in California, but it was barely in California. It was over in Holtville. So just barely in there, but
It's there.
it's still there.
It's still there.
So trying to dip my toes more further in, maybe some stuff in San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, just really trying to reach a wider market. And that goes for California, Florida, even some of the northeastern states. I'm just trying to be everywhere and anywhere where I can get the most eyes on me. It's because I don't have the backing of certain places here in San Antonio
Sure.
that can help me with those opportunities in terms of like, oh, well, we're here, we're affiliated with here. So we can help you with that. So I feel as if I'm kind of like this rogue worker that doesn't have the backing of any of the huge, I guess, monopoly men here in Texas to help me out. And I really want to prove them wrong that you don't need them to succeed. So any of the big places, I think there was like a West Coast Pro, there's Rev Pro, there's so many great places that I'd love to work. I'm trying to be challenged. I've been working with the same guys for 8 years. And whenever I get the opportunity to finally be challenged, like when I get to work with a TJP, when I get to work with Chase Owens, when I get to work with Zilla again, when I get to work with all those people again, it really helps challenge me to make me better. If you're the best wrestler in the locker room, you should probably find another locker room. So I'm trying to help myself, and wherever I need to go to, find that is where I want to be. And just little personal things. I'd love to be out of the country. I'd love to do stuff in Japan. Love to do stuff over in Europe. Everywhere. I'm trying to go everywhere.
We have a lot of different connections in a lot of different places here in the States and internationally, and obviously we're going to Southern California. We got a couple of partners that are out there. I'll let you know who you need to hit up and see what you can do to get out to SoCal for sure. We have connections in Los Angeles / Chatsworth and in San Diego. So there you go. And when you say you feel like a rogue agent or a rogue guy, nobody's there to help you. Hi, I'm Chris Page, and this is CCP Podcasting, and that's why we're here. I really think that's the purpose, is to be able to be a bridge to guys that to put you in touch with people that can maybe help you out or get you in the right spot or get you at least headed in the right direction. And if they come from me, I know I've vetted them, and I know that they're reputable. So it's like it's a win the whole way around. I don't really deal with shindy. I don't really deal with low, not say low scale stuff, but reputable companies are what I look for. Reputable people is what I look for. So we'll talk. I'll get you some names on that. Now, I've heard some states and I've heard some places internationally. What about some people? What about some people that are on your bucket list? I don't want to call them dream matches because dream matches to me implies that it's a one and done. Bucket list, you never know what chemistry looks like and what chemistry feels like, and it could definitely be more than a one-time situation. So who are some people that are on your bucket list of matches that you want to possibly have?
People that I know of that I'm like, man, I really want to work with them. Like I said, there's just so much great talent here in Texas for sure that I'd love to work with. But you know me, I'm just trying to work with. I mean, if I call myself the best, period, I want to work with the best. So I don't really have a set list of names, but I think if they're the best in their area, I want to work with them because it's only going to help me get better. Whether I succeed in like matching or if I fail and they run circles around me. I've heard it once before. You don't really lose, you learn. So I'm trying to learn.
No, I hear you. I hear you on that. And I always used to tell people all the time is that if you're afraid to fail, you'll never succeed. And that's where I always started betting on myself. So I can appreciate that, and just wanting to get in there with the best and wanting to deal with some of the people that are the best. And there's that moniker gets thrown around a lot, and from a lot of different people. And to get in there and put your skills up against theirs, that is truly the only way that you will get better. I think you said something earlier that it hasn't left my head, and it was so great. It was not great to hear, but it was real. And it was, if you consider yourself the best in the locker room, you probably need to find another locker room. And that's not a knock on being the best in the locker room, more so than it is you need to go where you're not. Because if you're the best in the locker room, you're not going to learn. And there's nothing wrong with teaching. There's nothing wrong with being that guy, right? But if you're going to elevate to that next level, you have to work with people who are on that next level. So that's like what I took away out of that. And it hit me. And it was just like very powerful. It was a powerful statement. I don't know why I felt the need to just bring that up, but it just hasn't left my head since you said it.
Yeah, it's because it's all about pushing myself to be better. I mean, yes, I have the mindset of being the best, but a part of me knows that I'm like, well, I can always get better. I can always work better people to make me better. And if I'm not doing that where I am, I need to go where I can. I mean, like I said, I'm only as good as the people around me that I associate myself with. So if I need to go find those people who are even better so I can get to that level. And then I can just then go find another place, get up to that level, and just work my way to the top. I'm only going to get better if I want to get better. And right now, I don't think I want to get better. I think I need to get better.
I dig the mindset. I dig the mentality of it too. Over on Twitch, UK Paul says you got to learn to lose before you can win, and that is a 100% fact. So let me ask you this, because to me, I've asked some questions. I don't really look at these as interviews, more so than just conversations. We're talking about that just happen to be about you. And our platform, obviously, it's independent wrestling, and it has evolved over the years, a year or two that we've been doing this. But this question has always remained the same, and for me, it's one of the most important questions that I'll ask. And I sum it up with, who should we be watching? And obviously, what I mean by that is, from your opinion and your perspective, from people that you've been in the ring with, guys that you're working with, maybe they don't get the spotlight that they deserve. Give me some of those people, according to you, that we should be watching.
Most definitely my boys over in the Empire. We're a small group. There's no leaders in our group. It's just us three. We're just three guys with the same mindset of trying to move up in the business and get better. We have Santiago Medina, who was trained by a very reputable source with Rodney Mack and Jazz, who's trying to move his way up. Now that he no longer has Rodney Mack and Jazz to back him, he's trying to really make a statement. And I see a lot of potential. He's got really good character work. He's very vocal with the crowd. It's almost as if he's just being himself. And that's what I like to see. I like to see somebody who really just turns up their volume to 100. And the other guy we have, his name's Jacob Prodigy. Fantastic. He's just starting out. Like, he's got maybe about a year or two in, but his stuff has always been in one spot. He's only ever worked one place, and I'm trying to help him move out of there. He's very gifted, and I see a lot of potential in Jacob. Very athletic. Uh, he's fully transformed himself body wise, so he's gotten in fantastic shape ever since we started the group. People call us body guys. I know Bob and John like to call us the body guys because we're all just in shape. We look fantastic as a group, as a unit, and we're a perfect all around group. You have Santiago with his power based moves, you have Jacob with all of his athleticism, the 450 splash, springboards, all that stuff, and then me who can match any style I've ever worked with all the different schools that I've been to. Just to learn and pick brains of different people. Over in Laredo, learning all the lucha style, learning the technical side, even with Rodney Beck and Jazz myself, checking all the other schools, learning their mindsets, learning different ways to hit the ropes, different ways to move around. So, and just being more of like a mentor to them. I'm not a leader. We're not leader. There's no leaders in the group. I'm more of a mentor to help guide in the right direction. And I think those two are definitely some guys that deserve a lot more recognition.
I think that the passionate one's being a hater. That's what it sounds like.
He's always hating.
It sounds like he's being a hater.
John's always hating.
You know, when I talked to John, he was actually leaving the gym. So, like, he's definitely trying. But if he refers to you guys as the body guys, that just sounds like somebody's on the haterade. And it sounds like that's the passionate one.
Yeah, he's the passionate one, but I guess I'm the inspirational one since he wants to be like a.
I mean, sometimes, man, you got to play the cards that you're dealt, and if that's the deal, and you're being the inspiration for Jonathan getting into better shape, I think that's a win. Then I think that's how we're going to sell it too. You know what I mean? Like Alexander has got the aura that makes you want to do better, and that's it's money. It's fucking money. It's working right now on old Jonathan life. How does that make you feel to know that you have that presence and that power?
I think, starting out the way I started out and just the transformation that I've had on myself, I think it's, like I said, it's a very inspirational thing that, oh, he did it. Maybe I can do it, or maybe I should do it and stuff. I try to like preach my kind of like mindset onto the guys I'm closest with, because I feel as if they always have the potential to be the best versions of themselves. So I try to, really push and just be like, guys, let's do this. Let's try to get more into this. Let's work more like this. And some people buy into it. Some people are like, oh, okay. But like they say, can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
You know what scares the shit out of me is hearing about 10 days I start my regiment. I've got a personal trainer because I'm horribly out of shape, right? So if I'm going to be running live events and I'm going to be in front of a camera that's like, not getting me from like, the waist down, like it's not getting the out of shapeness, like I'm good, but I got to get in better shape. So I'm taking it seriously too, brother. And it's like but it does scare the shit out of me because I have allowed myself to get to where I'm at. And like, I'm not happy about it, period. But I think now is the time like to take it seriously and try to get into better shape because I don't like where I'm at, but it's going to happen. And I'm looking at the clock, or not the clock, the date on the computer. And I'm like, fuck, it's 10 days. So my trainer, he's like, well, why are you waiting? And I said, brother, first of all, I'm a big boy right now, and it's the holidays, and you cannot ask me to stick to any form of diet or anything of that nature this close to fat boy season. Like, it's just, first of all, that's not fair to me. But I am prepared. Day one, let's make it happen. What are we doing? And I'll be there with motherfucking bells on. Let's go.
The hardest part is getting started.
It is, and it's like trying to find the motivation to do it. But like what has happened now. What I didn't expect was like my better half. Uh, he tells me he's like, I want to get in better shape too. Okay, cool. You want to do this with me? Because like I need an accountability buddy, and that'd be great. And then one of my business partners found out the same thing, and he's like, "You need an accountability buddy? I'll do it with you too." Dope. So now I have two people that will help me stick to this situation and stick to this plan. So it's like it's going to be an interesting ride. I'm hoping that by the end of March that I have like some decent results, some real results. I'm being realistic as fuck. Like I just let me lose 40 and I'm good. And whatever we do from there is a bonus and I'll be all right. So
yeah, fitness is all a mindset. You got to really, it's a lifestyle as well. It's got to stick with it. I know it's going to be rough. I know I've had a very rough time. I've gone through peaks and valleys of my fitness. I've gone from being super, super thin to getting in nice shape, then just letting it all go and getting real big to then fixing that. I've been on and up in peaks and valleys, like I said. But once I really treated it like a lifestyle and not saw it as a diet and just saw it as my regular everyday meals and shakes and all this other stuff and just keeping the gym as just my daily routine, it just felt natural. And then, progress shows over time. And then you see the transformation that you're going through. You check the scale, you say, oh, wow, I lost this many pounds. Let me keep it going and see how many more I can lose. And go from there. It's a mindset. It's a very taxing mindset as well. It um, can really break you too, because you won't see any progress maybe the first week or two, but you got to get through that first couple weeks to really be like, then you'll start seeing your results.
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing that I've been told so far is like, and again, I have no expectations, none, zero. I'm more rolling into this the same way I rolled into this platform. I had no expectations for it, and still don't. I'm shocked that we have done what we've done in a short amount of time as we've done it in. I think that it shocks me, but I also think it's cool. But that's how I have to roll. Like anything that I do, like the first live event, no expectations, none. So if I do something, great. If I don't, okay, cool. I wasn't, let's see what happens. It's not going to change how I attack it. I'm still going to attack it like, under my mentality of I can conquer this. Whatever this looks like, I can conquer it. So like I'm a smoker. Okay, that's going to be a big thing. I'm putting those down. I've done it cold turkey before. I'm going to do it again. It sucks, and I know that that's something that I'm going to battle with. But I know that I've done it before, so I know that it can be done again. And I'm one of those cats that if I do something, I can't drag it out. I can't say, "Oh, okay, I'll smoke, 7 cigarettes today versus 15." It's still smoking. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like it's still smoking a cigarette. You're not tricking your body that nicotine's not there. It still is there. So you just have to remove it all at one time. But it's going to be wild, and I'm here for it. I think there's going to be it's something that needs to happen, and the channel has been clamoring for an in-ring return because nothing that I ever did was filmed, not for YouTube or anything like that because it wasn't around in my day.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's some things that are working and some balls that are moving, but if I do it, like I've told the individuals attached to it, like if I feel like I'm going to embarrass you, or I'm going to embarrass myself, then I'm not going to fucking do it. So another reason to hold myself accountable is because I do want to do this, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So I got to get in better shape to make that happen for them too, because I think it'll be an awesome ride. So yes, accountability buddies, they're going to be there, and I'll keep everybody apprised. This is the first time I've ever spoken about it on the air, so the viewers right now are like, "What?" So that's a thing, guys. It's going to happen. Let me ask you this before we get ready to close things out. I always like to turn the floor over to you guys. Is there anything out there that you want to talk about? Is there anything that you want to plug? Is there anything that you got going on that you want to let our audience in on? Like the floor is yours.
Well, currently, right now, I'm spending all of my time and effort into helping the group, the Empire, grow. So far, it's been growing very fast. Went from nothing to 4 AAA affiliated shows to tag team championships, singles championships, double championships. It's been going really well, and I'm hoping that in 2026 we can make it even bigger than what it is now. To think that only in 5 months we've grown this much, give us a year to see what happens. See what we can do in a year. So I'm spending all my time and focus on that. Of course, I got all my socials that I'm trying to stay up on. It's more of a pain for me to make my highlights and my reels and my posts for Instagram and Facebook. And then remember, I still got to upload my match on YouTube and have a TikTok version on there. And
Sucks.
social media has been a pain. It's been rough. But right now, my sole focus has been on my Instagram. I've been really trying to push my Instagram, help make that bigger, I guess. And hoping that 2026 goes well. That's really all I have.
Well, 2026 is going to go well. There's no hope. It is. You've already got some pretty impressive stuff that's lined up, and you never know what can happen and who's watching and who might be listening and who might see stuff, and obviously what we're going to be doing, because Caius wouldn't have turned us on to each other if if he didn't think that there was something there, and he didn't know what my plans are in the foreseeable future. So we're going to crack some codes in the state of Texas. I'm already working on it, and I'm gonna see what we can do. So I do think that there's a lot of opportunity for everybody out there, and you guys deserve it just as well as anybody else does. And I do appreciate you coming in and being able to sit down and have some of this discussion with me. I never know where these conversations are going to go, but I'm always glad when I have them, because I always learn something, and I know that we're just scratching the surface. So I do extend the olive branch and the invitation for you to come back at any point in time to circle around and let's talk and let's figure out what's going on. Let's update mid 2026 maybe and see what's happening, because I have a feeling that you'll be on one of our shows at some point in 2026, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
I'm looking forward to it as well. If I were to talk about my beginning, my starting out, I could be here for hours talking about the obstacles from start to even like just 2-3 years of that. So I could talk. That's for sure.
Well, we're definitely going to circle back around. We're going to have you back. And my man, like I always tell people, the easiest way that you can show your support is by sharing, and subscribing. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's been on the screen the entire show. Aries.Alexander_wrestling is the Instagram handle. That's all you have to do. Go hit the follow button. From there, you'll get to Linktree, which is also on the screen as well. It's just Aries Alexander. Just type that in. That'll get you to everything social media wise, from YouTube to X to TikTok. And like you said, Instagram's kind of the best spot to hit him right now. So why don't you make that happen? Because that's the easiest way that you can show your support. And share the content. Put him out there. Because anytime you share it, you're putting him in front of a new audience. And that's the name of the game. That's how these guys get ahead. That's how you can help. And it's simple. Doesn't cost you nothing. You're probably on social media right now anyway. So what are you waiting for? Mr. Alexander, it has been an absolute pleasure, sir. I cannot wait to circle around and have you back on and see where things go, because 2026 is going to be incredible for you.
Thank you so much for having me.
For my guest today, Mr. Alexander, I am Chris Page, and this is where I say we will see you next time.